everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video. Today's video, as you can tell by that deliciously clickbaity title, is going to be the Scottish Premier Football League predictions. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Normally I have Snagsy with me and that normally takes the heat off me because I'm pretty bad at this, like very bad. I think I got one right last year and it was Hibs. So great, that's amazing. Snagsy and I just couldn't get together, like our schedules just didn't meet, so we apologise about that one. So it was my fault, apologies. But what we're going to do with Snagsy is for the Aberdeen Rangers Aftermath, where we give the player ratings, that's right, that's coming back. We're going to get Mr. Snagsy just a couple of minutes, 20, he can take how long he wants, it's Snagsy. He can give you his Scottish Premier Leagues probably Monday or Tuesday whenever we are filming that bad boy. So today is just going to be about me, so you can all laugh, so settle in, trickle in if you want, because it's going to be bad. Okay, and if he's watching this video just now, jump in the comment section and get involved as well. It's a good laugh, and if anyone gets it right, no one did last year. I went back and I spent about 2.5 hours scrolling through those bad boys. Not one person got it right. If you do manage to get it right, I don't know, we'll do something, we'll get you on the channel, we'll do whatever you want. It should be pretty fun, so make sure you get involved in that. And can I just say, 6 videos in a row now, the Novo Nation has smashed 1,000 likes. Incredible. Can we make it 7? Not many people's going to actually click on this video, so it's going to be very tough, but let's try and do it. Let's keep that positive momentum up going, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and let's just get to it, shall we? 3, 2, 1. So starting off with the league, instead of working our way through 1, 2 and 3 and everything like that, I'm going to sort of tease you out and draw that video out, you know what I'm saying. So we're going to start off at the 12th position, and the team that I think is going to be straight relegated is actually going to be Hamilton. And I believe Hamilton and St Mirren's going to be scrapping for that place throughout the entire season. Spoiler alert for number 11. But I just feel like Hamilton's kind of skived by the last couple of times. They've not done too well in the league. They've not really strengthened. In fact, I think they've actually lost better talents. And Ali Crawford especially, he's obviously left now. And David Temple. And I think those are two creative players. And I don't think they've really got the finances to replace him. Especially someone of Crawford's quality, who's absolutely brilliant in my opinion. Very underrated in the league. So he's went away down to Doncaster. Hamilton's going to come 12th and they're going to be relegated. That is my pick as we jump to number 11, and that is going to be, I just spoiled it, St Mirren. Now St Mirren, I think, is everyone's favourite to go back down. Obviously they lost their manager to Sunderland, like Jack Ross, who everyone was really in love with in Scottish football. Fantastic manager. But I don't know, I just feel like St Mirren's going to make it very difficult to beat them. They're not really going to score as many goals as I think as they did obviously in the Championship, but I think they're a side that's not going to concede as many. I think they're going to be very tight and they're going to make it hard. They're not going to come here and win, they're not going to do amazing, but I believe like they'll grind out results when it matters, draw and the occasional will. Like I said, it's going to be the battle between Hamilton and St Mirren, and I think they will be reliant on playoffs, so they'll go and play Falkirk or something in the Championship, and hopefully they get beat and Falkirk comes into the league. Moving on to number 10, and I feel like I'm going to get a bit of flack for this because last year I actually picked them to do very well, but this year I'm actually going to pick them to do poorly. That is going to be none other than Dundee. Now instantly I can feel that that's probably going to be a bit of a surprise being so low in the league. I didn't really believe in the recruitment, I didn't really believe in the players. I've had a look, and to be honest with you, they're one of the weakest lineups in my opinion anyway. I know I could be completely wrong, and somebody that watches Dundee all the time is going to say, no, you didn't ken this guy and this guy. From my limited knowledge, from the outside looking in, I just don't know. And to be honest with you, if you're a Dundee fan and you're watching this, you're very angry just now. Every time I pick you do well, you do bad. So I picked you do bad, so you're probably going to come second. Positives. Number 9, actually that looks too sexual, just remove that. Number 9 is actually going to be none other than my namesake itself, St Johnstone. And St Johnstone, again, is one of these teams that I always expect to do very well. I picked them again to be pushing the top 6 last season, and it just didn't quite happen. To be fair, I actually got a lot of love actually from St Johnstone fans in the comments saying we appreciate that, but we're poor, blah. So hopefully they come back this year. And unfortunately, I'm going to put his 9th. Again, it's not. I don't think you'll be as close to like Hamilton, St Mirren, like it's been a bad season. I think you'll be like 10-15 points clear of that. It'll be an okay season, but just not enough to really push up into the league. So yeah, solid season from them, coming in the 9th position. Number 8, aka Gaza's number, and that's actually going to be someone who used to play for Rangers, who's currently a player manager. You've probably heard of him. His name's Kenny Miller. He just plays where he wants. Kenny Miller, he plays where he wants. Now he's obviously the player manager, he's probably going to sub himself on and score a lot of goals for him, but if I'm honest with you, I'm actually very impressed with Livingston's recruitment this season. It's obviously something I've been a lot more alerted to because it's been most players from Rangers. Like their goalkeeper, I think Kelly's very underrated. They've obviously got Hackett, I can't ever pronounce his name, who used to play for us a few years ago, and now they've also got the man, the speedster, the Greyhound, Ryan Hardy. Someone I've been on the record a lot of times on this channel saying he should have been given an opportunity, and I really believe in Ryan Hardy. This is his first chance in the top flight that someone's really believed in him. He's going to be the number 9, and I think he's going to score a barrel load of goals, and I think it's going to be mostly his goals that gets them in the league. Obviously, Kenny Miller's very, very inexperienced at manager, right? We get that. We've got an inexperienced manager as well, so there's going to be a lot of slighters. I know Livingston's one of the favourites to get relegated, but for me personally, I just believe in Ryan Hardy, and I'm going to back the Greyhound, so I'm going to go with them with a very, very fantastic season, coming in 8th place. Moving on to number 7 now, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is when it got really difficult. I was going back and forth with 7 and 6 3 or 4 times. As it stands just now, I'm still not really sure where I'm going to go. In fact, I'm going to make my decision now. It's going to be Hearts. And the reason I'm going to pick Hearts is I think they're going to lose Kyle Lafferty, who's obviously a very, very important goal threat for them. Got 18 goals last season. They've obviously brought Judas back, or Stephen Naismith as he's commonly known as. So he's back there playing, so we'll see how he does. But I just feel like with the loss of Kyle Lafferty, if it happens, even if he stays, I don't know, they're not consistent enough, and I think they need a poor season, if I'm honest with you, to get more funds into the team and to really push them. Craig Levine's been a bit of a Rangers legend lately, and obviously I like Hearts out the Edinburgh clubs. Hearts are the one. I think they're due a really bad season, and I believe the bad season will be a catalyst for them to spend money and actually have a good season next season. So unfortunately for the Hearts fans, I'm going to put them as 7th. Now we move on to number 5, and it's starting to heat up. Again, the position I was swapping back and forth. This one might surprise because I know a lot of people and a lot of YouTubers are picking this team to finish very, very high. I'm actually going to go within my 6th position on. It's going to be none other than Kelly. And even saying it makes me a bit nervous because I'm like, this is a team that just turned around and became one of the best teams in the SPFL last season, Craig. What are you actually talking about? Stevie Clark, who's a fantastic manager, who will have them motivated, who knows how to play against specific teams and just set up his team properly. They've got an exciting player in Jordan Jones. They've got Bromby, aka the Wolf, that I'd really, really rate, who I think will have a breakout season for Kilmarnock. I just don't know. I think something's going to happen mid-season where a Premiership club or something like that, they're going to sack their manager, or a Championship side, someone riding high who's not performing well, maybe even an Aston Villa, and I believe Clark will go. And then when Clark goes, I think the team will go back to the way they were, because I don't think Clark still gets enough credit for what, because that was the same group of players that he had, bar a couple, I believe Malumbu that he brought in, that was the same players, and he just turned them from bottom feeder club, like in the relegation bait, to top 6, and I'm like, what a manager. But I just feel like the lure, the money and that from down south will actually pull Kilmarnock apart, which unfortunately for them means they'll drop down to 6th in the league. Number 5 now, the top 5, we're going to go with Motherwell, and the reason I'm picking Motherwell, Goggs' team, is not only because Goggs is in the charity event, links will be in the description below, but they got to 2 finals last year, you know what I mean? You've got to give credit where credit's due. I think their manager's vastly, vastly underrated. It gets the team fighting. Yes, they're very physical, yes, they're a bit dirty, but they make it hard to beat them, and they go out and win games. But saying all that, I'm going to give Motherwell a top 5 place. I don't think they're consistent enough. There seems to be like a playoff team, like when you get into cups, that 1 or 2 games where it needs to matter, they can really grind out a result. I just don't think they'll be as consistent throughout the entire season, so that is why I'm going to put them at 5th. But again, still a very, very good place, in my opinion anyway. Top 5, Motherwell. Number 4, this is where it's going to get controversial. The team that I'm picking to finish 4th in the league is the team that finished 2nd for the last 4 years. Nice little reverse there. Also, a team that put in a fantastic performance against the 7th best team in England. It's going to be none other than Aberdeen. Before you go absolute mental at me, I have got a wee bit of reasoning for this in my mind anyway. Obviously they've lost Aaron Rooney, who kind of dropped out the squad, which is fair enough, but I just look at their squad and I'm like, is the depth good enough for the entire season? I think they're going to have good performances. They might even put a really, really good performance against us on Sunday. They might beat us, who knows. Like, they're capable of 1 or 2 good games, but I just feel like when you look at their squad now, it's getting obviously a year older now, and they've not really brought in that many good players or fantastic players at all, actually. And the more I think about it, their recruitment this summer has been very, very poor, in my personal opinion anyway. They've lost a couple of key players, but just looking at the squad, I'm going to go with finishing 4th. I think they're going to do well in one of the cups, so I believe like a semi-final, maybe even a final, but top 4, I think they're going to finish in the 4th position, because I think the other teams have strengthened a lot more than Aberdeen have, so yeah, don't judge me. Before we actually crack out the top 3, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm extremely thirsty, so you know what time it is. It's the sponsor break time, so grab your refreshments. That's right, as we wait for the number 3. 3, 2, 1, sponsor break! I can't tell you how good that is now that I've cleaned that flask after 2.5 weeks. Man, I was starting to see things. So back to the list as we hit number 3, and it's going to be no surprise, it's a team that I actually got correct last year, because as much as I hate Neil Lennon as a person, he's a fantastic manager. He's motivating, he's brilliant. He gets players that play like a 5 out of 10, plays like an 8 consistently. You just didn't want to put in a bad performance and go into that in the dressing room. He works the team so well, and he's vastly underrated as well. I think sometimes his antics on the sidelines and everything like that takes the shine off his actual managerial performances, especially last season for Hibs, considering how much money they had to spend. Their wage budget, it was their first sort of season in the league from the Championship, and they managed to do that. I mean, that was brilliant in my personal opinion. So I'm actually going to go with them in 3rd place though. They've got a very, very good striker. They brought him in permanently, Cambiri. I can't pronounce it, but he's brilliant. He's going to score a lot of goals. It depends if they're going to keep McGinn, if I'm honest with you. If they keep McGinn, it could be even closer to 2nd. They're going to be pushing that sort of spot. They might even fall away if they lose McGinn. That is the key player on that team, if I'm being honest with you. I know Brighton's now started speaking to them. Celtic's threw a couple of little bids in there as well. So it'll be an interesting one for the Hibs fans. I'm going to put them in the top 3, which I still think is natural progression. And I think it's a very, very good season if you're a Hibs fan. Should be an exciting one. And now we're here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the top 2. So when I reveal the second, it's obviously going to reveal who came first. And let's just get on with it, shall we? You know where I'm going with this. Number 2, I'm going to go with Celtic. That's right, before you type in and get aggressive at me, or tweet me, or quote tweet, whatever you want to do. The reason I've actually picked Celtic is, 1, I've got my blue goggles on. And 2, to be honest with you, me and Ryan 118 actually spoken about this, and he actually thinks this is the best Celtic's been in the numerous amounts of years, and I couldn't even disagree more. Again, I'm not watching each and every single game. I've not watched the pre-season games. I've not watched any of the Champions League qualifiers. I don't know how they're performing. I just know from the bits and bobs that I've seen the transfer window, and their main sort of business was obviously getting Eduardo, who's a very, very talented striker, for £9 million. But he was there last season, and he was in and around the squad round last season when Rangers had the opportunity to cut it to 3 points at home against Celtic if they managed to pull that out. Obviously Celtic just rammed them, but that opportunity was still there. That base squad was still there, and that is why I feel like they're going to slip up again. I know I'm going to be labelled as biased and everything like that, but I'm not just doing it out of bias. There is slight bits of like knowledge that I'm clinging on to, or point of view I should say, not knowledge, because I've not got any. I just feel like they've not improved their squad enough. I feel like they're going to slip up with how bad Rangers were last season. To have the opportunity at all to cut the gap to 3 points, I know they had a game in hand, but still, with 2 manager sackings, having Murty in charge, the poor players that was playing each and every single game, it was unbelievable. So I feel like they're going to slip up this season and come back stronger the next game. So number 2 is going to be Celtic, which leaves Stevie G's army. Number 1 is Glasgow Rangers. The reason for this, again, I'm going to try and not be overly biased or anything. I'm not going to get labelled that and get loads of shit in the comments. That's fair enough, whatever, it's fine. But the reason I actually believe that Rangers can finish first is they've took everything they were bad at last season. Defensively, very, very poor. 8th worst in the league, which took them back. You saw it against Celtic, you saw it against Aberdeen, you saw it against Hibs. They were terrible in most games defensively, and we had to pull out our arses to grind results. And that's fair enough. You can do that 1 or 2 seasons, but what Gerrard's actually done is went, no, we're not going to try and just work with what we've got. We're going to bring in naturally talented football players. We're going to take everything that was a criticism last season, slow, weak at the back, not physical enough, and he just went, right, we'll do that. We'll bring in 2 6'4" centre backs with with pace. We're going to bring in a sort of full back who's defensively minded, not offensively. So in these bigger games that he can play defensive, right back, left back, Flanagan can cover either one, and he will be very, very important in the big games against Celtic, I believe personally. He's went into the midfield, brought in Koulibaly. He seems to have resurged Ryan Jack, so that's going to be a fantastic thing. Brought in a playmaker like Armfield. Now, damn it, I said Armfield. I meant Armfield. And obviously brought up competition for Alfredo Morelos, which seems to have spurred him on for the last couple of games with Umar Sadiq. And obviously there's talks of Kyle Lafferty joining the club as well. So all of that and all, you just add a wee shagger on top by Alan McGregor, natural born winner. He's a leader. And I just believe this is going to be a good season for Rangers Football Club, whether that's finishing first like I'm predicting, or a cup in one of the other sort of competitions. It's going to be a good season for Rangers. That is going to be my predictions. Go easy, man, in the comments. I've tried to be fair. Make sure you be getting involved in the comment section below. And if you don't mind smashing the like button, I greatly appreciate that, because as you can imagine, it's probably going to get a wee bit of hate. So if you've not done it already, make sure to do so. And a little reminder, as always, in the description below there will be a link to a charity football game. So if you haven't bought your tickets, please do so. It's only in a couple of weeks now, 16 days time, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. I'll be CJ over 92. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.